All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is, of course, General Greene here at islandproject.com. God bless you. Jesus Christ is King. I hope you had a beautiful weekend. I hope you praise the Lord. Hope you went to church. I hope you're getting ready, prepping, and you're super vigilant right now because I believe that the U.S. stock market will collapse leading into the chaos of the U.S. election. And I think the elites have pre-planned dumping the U.S. stock market in front of Donald Trump's potential election to then, of course, blame Donald John Trump, for the collapse that they organized, that they orchestrated. Of course, radical Democrats, the Joe Biden administration, Kamala Harris, the central bank, the Federal Reserve have all been getting ready to pull the rug. And I think they're doing this now. So we've seen a big sell-off in U.S. equities just in the recent week. We saw a very big panic, which was kind of cool in a way because I was in Japan at the time it happened, enjoying my time, a little leisure, pleasure, business, looking at properties in Tokyo. And that's when the seller carry trade event occurred. So if you were paying attention to that or you're a stock guy, you know what I'm talking about. But there was a 10% drop in Japanese equities overnight, massive carry trade reversion. And I just think that they're going to pull the plug, and I think Trump is going to be blamed for it. And this is what I've been saying. I really think you guys need to get ready. I've been doing this a very long time as a financial professional, which I'm no longer, but I did manage hundreds of millions of dollars, of course, of wealth for very wealthy families for a number of years. And I lived through the 2008-2009 crisis and warned all my clients to exit the stock market right when Bear Stearns started to collapse. I saved people tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. And I'm not going to say I'm proud of that because God told me. I just knew it was the right thing to do at the time. But I feel that the same impending doom is coming now. And honestly, it's really worrisome, regardless of what side of the political spectrum that you're on, like whether or not you like Donald Trump or don't like Donald Trump. They've attempted to take him out. We see this with Bolsonaro right now, too. He's been actively poisoned. I don't know if you caught this, but Bolsonaro in Brazil has been actively poisoned. They tried to get rid of him not too long ago. Now he's fallen ill based on some kind of food that he ate. And I'm seriously worried that this is going to happen to Trump because we know, and this is regardless of your politics, I don't care if you're a Democrat tuning in, and you're welcome to tune in, but if you're a Democrat tuning in and Donald Trump is taken out, he's gone, rest in peace, dude, civil war is going to break out imminently in the United States. It's the worst case scenario that I've ever seen. So, we're seeing all the too big to fail elites, Warren Buffett and others. Tim Cook has been selling hundreds of millions of dollars worth of his Apple stock. Notice that Tim Cook sold hundreds of millions of Apple stock prior to Warren Buffett's announcement. So it's obviously an inside job. They're insider trading. We saw this with the lockdowns, of course. Most of Washington, D.C. sold all their stock prior to the announcement of the lockdown. So they were front running the American people in retail, which is terrible. Should be prosecutorial, the fact that they did that. It's amazing that it's not even talked about, that I have to mention it. And yeah, I just think even logically speaking, outside of politics, who wants to hold U.S. equities during the uncertain civil war? We don't know what's going to happen in the next 8 days or something like that, less than 60 days. So if you don't know what's going to happen, you're going to pull risk from the market. I think this is going to, and this is where I'm kind of leading you guys to, because, I always tell you not to be in fear. The whole reason I do what I do is to make you rich, take advantage of opportunities, profit from what people are overlooking, like Bitcoin, crypto, real estate, the digital Noah's Ark, everything that we've been working on at islandproject.com. But to pay attention, but to understand that when it comes to investing, it's always where you bought. Okay, so, I've had many cryptos, for example, that I've invested in, that my members have invested in. We bought, under 100K market cap. And then it goes to 50 million or 100 million or, We've seen certain tokens like Bitcoin rise to trillions of dollars. It's the same thing in the stock market. It's when you bought. So if you're in the stock market now, after Warren Buffett has sold almost everything, as everybody's getting out, Tim Cook is liquidating, all the elites are liquidating, Jeff Bezos is liquidating. He sells a couple billion a year just to fund his lifestyle. Jeff Bezos, and God bless him, like he's got every right to do it, but he sells, $2 billion a year to fund lifestyle investments, his yachts, his multiple properties, Learjets, to fill up the gas tank, of all those vehicles and everything that he owns. Like these guys, they play it safe. And that's what you need to understand is that it's the American people, it's people in mutual funds, exchange traded funds, random stocks they know nothing about, financial advisors that, in my opinion, God bless a lot of these people. There's good ones out there. I know good ones out there that are personal family friends of mine, but like 99% of these guys suck. Like 99.9% of all the financial advisors I've ever met will tell you Bitcoin was a scam. And now they were so wrong about it, they're actually selling it out of their books. And they're pitching BlackRock's ETF for Bitcoin. And the only reason they're doing that, and I told you this would happen, is because these people that weren't that smart weren't going to start selling you Bitcoin until after it was like trading above 50K or 100K. And only when they were economically, financially incentivized to sell it to you. Now, again, I never had any financial incentive to recommend Bitcoin outside of the fact that I did own it and I was buying it and I had big hopes for the future. And of course, 1000X make me super rich, all my members rich. Anyone that was in my courses over the last 10 years, bitcoinrich.com, islandprojectclub.com, now Island Project has gotten super rich because we were way ahead of everybody. Everybody, like I would say 9 out of 10 people I met told me Bitcoin was a scam and I'd lose all my money, and instead I made hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, it's insane. So I'm telling you now, because I'm a controversial thinker, I'm always outside of the box, I'm always thinking about things differently from like the general masses. I think that everyone's out. I think they're going to bleed the stock market in a 1929 collapse, bank runs, capital controls. I've told you this was going to happen for a long time now. They're going to blame it on Trump, and I'm not convinced Trump even survives through the U.S. election. So this is what I'm telling you. Like, you need to be preparing for everything. If you're not outside of the banks, if you're not getting ready with your money, and hopefully you've worked really hard for your money and you want to preserve it. Like, I don't know about you, but I work my ass off. So every dollar, every Bitcoin that comes in, into part of my portfolio, I protect that. Because it's not about me, it's about my kids, my children, it's about my church. Like, I've always told you guys to get rich so you can donate millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars to your church. Like, we're going to rock the ship as the billionaire Christian superclass. But like, I'm just telling you now, things don't smell right. I think that the global elites will crash crypto too, temporarily. You're going to want to buy that dip. And so what I'm telling you is get your dry powder ready. All the technicals, all the fundamentals show a crash. U.S. election uncertainty, I think, guarantees a crash. Warren Buffett's out. Tim Cook is out. All the tech guys are out. Elon Musk is out. I mean, they're just selling. And even among the rich that are not like famous, but just like my friends and people that I hang out with in Maui, in Oahu and Honolulu, like, they're out. So these are big indicators. And as a public figure, somebody who comes on camera every single day, I feel like it's a responsibility to warn all of you. So my suggestion, I have to say it's not financial advice, is to get your money out of the banks, get into any physical real assets that you possibly can. Now, you already know my opinion. This is the best investment in the world. It's guaranteed, no downside, physical asset, no bank debt. See our terms and disclaimers. It's also going to be tokenized. We already have a $33.5 million portfolio. So unless you can go out and buy your own $5 million beachfront estate today on your own, which I encourage you to do, but you could still do that with Island Project, then go do that. But you want to be outside of the system of their control, because these people are going to come down with the iron fist of tyranny, and I'm not convinced Donald Trump even lives through the U.S. election. Like, am I wrong about this? But like, I'm not even convinced this guy is even breathing. by the time the election results come in. They've already tried to whack them once. Bolsonaro has been actively poisoned. This could be coming to Trump next. We should pray for him. And economically speaking, financially speaking, prepping speaking, just being vigilant, go conservative right now. There's no reason to be risking it all with some stupid meme coin. I'm sorry, but there's no reason to be just risking it with your balls floating in the wind for no absolute reason when you've got less than 60 days before what could potentially be the end of Trump or his win or some other kind of heinous event that we can't predict. So until there's more certainty, I'm just telling you guys, risk off. The best place to do that is a real asset. It's a physical asset with no bank debt. That could include gold and silver. I encourage you to buy it. You can go ahead and do that. Please do. I mean, I've been selling gold and silver for years. I own a lot of it. But the best investment is a cash flow producing investment. So you're going to want to own real estate. And the beauty of what we've done is we've already prepped for this long in advance because I knew this years ago. I knew that America would be setting the stage for its economic, financial, political collapse in 2024. And then leading into that, we would all be positioning for what was coming next. And what is coming next? Tokenization of real assets, real world assets tokenized, blockchain. All of the Wall Street companies are moving in. Everybody's going into this. But with that being said, these people are smart. They always buy your blood. Again, in 2008-09, that was an inside job by the deep state to destroy the middle class. And then after taking everyone out, declaring massive foreclosures and short sales, after just destroying the system, the financial markets. I mean, we were on the verge of martial law. They then went in and bailed themselves out and then bought all of your homes, bought all of your cars, bought all of your stocks, and they did it on the cheap after they wiped you out. And so I'm telling you straight up, they're going to wipe you out. Like myself, my other rich friends, all the billionaires, we're conservative right now because we don't know what's going to happen. We can't predict the future. And this is why I've deployed so much capital. And this is why we built this, because it's a guaranteed win. It's a massive defensive position, but it also plays the upside of 1,000x gains. So you can't lose. I tell you this all the time. Bitcoin went to zero. Doesn't matter. Island Project still owns hundreds of millions of dollars worth of real estate. I mean, that would suck that Bitcoin went to zero, but we're still rich. Okay, it's a win-win. Now, that's not going to happen. Bitcoin's going to go to millions of dollars. Of course, BlackRock's in. Of course, they're trying to scam you out of your bags. Of course, they're trying to destroy your lives. Of course, they're buying all the real estate. They're moving to real estate tokenization as well. But before they get there, before many of you think, see, many of you are you're just like taking too much risk right now, and you're just playing offense, which is good. I like that. I like that you're going balls to the wall and you got the diamond nuts, but you haven't thought about how they're going to take you there. Again, in 2008-09, they destroyed most Americans' lives. They eradicated your net worths. They took your retirement accounts and 401ks to zero after you were broke and had no capital left and you had been margin called. They'll then come in and buy all your stuff with taxpayer funds, with bailouts, and then they'll blow up a Ponzi scheme scam like they just did. And I mean, look at the charts from 2008-09. These global cabal elites that caused the crash blew up the biggest scam, and they all profited and, quite frankly, raped America. The fact that the American people haven't fought back blows my mind. I'm telling you, they're doing it right now, too. Because the goal is, as they reset the system into digital currencies, move you to unique identifiers, move you to, got a good country song going on right now, I like the song. As they move you to digital IDs, they're first going to pull the rug, grab all your stuff, bleed you out, then it's going to go to the moon. So if you're not defensive, I'm telling you, you're in trouble. If you're not playing both sides, you're in air. If you're not in a guarantee like islandproject.com, honestly, you don't know what you're doing. I always play to win guaranteed, no matter what happens. Especially as you accumulate wealth, you always diversify. My father taught me this as a young man, and my late brother, Cody. He always said, get rich in a concentrated position, your business, stocks, Bitcoin, whatever it is. After I made all my money, then you start diversifying and you get into the next guarantee, and then you 1000x that, but you spread things out a little bit. So I'm just telling you, like, you're taking plenty of risk just buying a physical asset with no bank debt and 1000xing that with no downside versus buying Pepe the Frog right now. I'm telling you, they're going to crash that. They're going to crash all of it. There's massive legislation coming out for DEXs. They're going to attack everyone. Their goal is tyranny, surveillance, lockdowns, permanent biological merger and integration, World War III, fiat collapse, and they're going to reset the system. So I've told you this before. I'm not discounting how intelligent you people are out there. I know you guys are ballers, but I'm just telling you, for the majority of the American public, they're not smart like these people. These people have it dialed in. They control all of the artificial intelligence algorithms, all the trading on Wall Street. They own all the banks, the entire media. They own the politicians. They own all the lobbyists. They own the food supply, the air, the water, the airlines, which aren't even public. I mean, they're public companies, but they're basically subsidized by the government. Like, your system is rigged. So if you don't think that these people are going to come and massacre you here in the United States, you're wrong. And I'm telling you to do the smart move, which is guaranteed, which I built along with my father, all glory to Jesus Christ the King, which already owns $33.5 million of real estate with cash flows, capital gains, which is defense outside of the system of bank runs. We don't have any debt. You own the properties. But in addition to that is also playing after the collapse, we're all going to 1000x. So I'm taking every single member investor from 30 units on up, and I have members with millions of dollars in islandproject.com, and I'm 1000xing everybody because I've already known that this is going to happen. I give glory to God, but I'm telling you, a massive stock market massacre is coming, and if you're not in this, you're screwed. So call my dad at 808-442-2934. Get in, ask any questions about the world-class investment, learn about it, okay? Schedule a call with him, onboard at least 30 units. You'll get our fact sheet with all the available properties that you currently own, their appraised values, okay, projections on each of the properties, what the income's going to look like. We can go over that with you. Capital gains, use, stays, tiers, 100 units, 250 units, 500 units, 1,000 units. You start moving up, okay, and islandproject.com, which just buys you amazing use case every year, which is like awesome. We don't have to do that. By the way, you as a member can choose what you want. If you want income, choose income. If you enjoy the fact that you can stay at a $5 million mansion, 2 weeks out of the year as a part of your $1 million investment, then that's up to you. I mean, that's an awesome feature. It's better than staying at a hotel and blowing, $100,000 and $5,000 a night at a hotel down the street when you could simply just stay in your own piece of property that you own, that you can give to your kids. And this is what people need to understand. So the stock market is poised for, I believe, the biggest bloodletting meltdown that you've ever seen, and it'll be worse than 2008 and 2009, and they are going to crash this system right in front of Trump. You heard it here first. So I hope you're ready, and I hope you're getting prepared. It's what I'm doing with my own money. I mean, I'm not giving you any advice that I don't actually take for myself. I mean, this is the same advice my father's giving. Exit the banks, get into islandproject.com now, deploy, at least diversify half of your portfolio. At least get out, half of your money out of the banks just in case what I'm saying happens. Like, what if you're wrong and you don't have an insurance policy, and then a month from now you lose 90% of your portfolio value, and you're like, well, Christopher was right again. He's been right about lockdowns, social media, e-commerce, Bitcoin, Ukraine, World War III, toilet paper pandemonium. It might be a little crazy and out there, but for some reason he's a savant and he's always getting it right, and I should listen to him. And then my financial advisor that's managing my money actually told me Bitcoin was a scam, and now it's worth over $1 trillion. And Christopher and everybody that took his course is rich now, and I'm not. So again, listen to what I'm saying. Like, again, this is my expertise, or don't. And again, I was hired at the top of my class, graduating college with honors in straight A's coming out of school. I was the highest paid guy at Merrill Lynch when I came out of school. Like, I'm not good at everything, but in this area, I'm a talent. And I'm straight up telling you, if I was your financial advisor, which I'm not, I would tell you to exit right now on Monday, sell all your stocks, get into islandproject.com, park your freaking money now, and guarantee and make sure your hard-earned assets are safe during economic collapse, during dollar reset, during the blockchain revolution. Participate in all the upside. Remove yourself from the election uncertainty while you still can, and then let things play out with Donald Trump. Like, see what happens, man. Because I'm not convinced that we don't have a major shock event and a major surprise to hit and rock the entire globe. I mean, some of you would call it a flat earth. That's what the scientists used to tell us. It was flat, and then they said it was a globe, and then now they say it's an egg. So I don't know what to believe. I just believe the Bible and whatever Jesus tells me. But my point is, you better rush out now. Because when the real panic hits, when the market's down 10% or more, when some bank goes down to zero, like Bank of America, which I actually think Warren Buffett thinks Bank of America is going to collapse. Why would he sell his stocks? I mean, if I was him, I wouldn't sell $1 billion of Bank of America unless I thought that thing was going to go to zero. So he just sold $1 billion. Like that is like a massive red flag. Everyone is sold. Everyone's out. All the tech guys, all my friends, everybody I know. I barely own any stocks. I own two. Full disclosure, I own Coinbase and Palantir, which was just added to the S&P 500. But that is like a small percentage of my portfolio. I'm mostly in crypto, Bitcoin, and my largest investment is this because it's a guarantee. It's a guarantee. It's guaranteed, guys. Islandproject.com. Text my dad. He's super busy, but text him or leave him a voicemail at 808-442-2934 and see if islandproject.com is right for you. Before you do that, though, to get ahead of the curve, fill out a 5-minute app. Fill it out to the best of your ability at islandproject.com. There's a bunch of questions that we have to ask because we have to do that as a part of regulations. Even if you don't know the entire answer, just, leave the best response that you can. Fill out minimum 30 units, if not more. You should be getting in 150, 250, 500, 1,000. Same thing with my existing members that are DCAing. And then speak with my father, run by any questions, and let him advise you on what to do. Because I'm telling you, man, it's going to be bad. And my heart breaks for a lot of you out there that I know are going to bear the brunt of what I believe is the worst stock market crash and economic collapse in history. And I think it'll be worse than what I lived through as a young man in my 20s when I was working at Merrill Lynch in 2008 and 09. And it's because you failed to act and you didn't preserve your capital and you're not listening and you're trusting a system that is rigged and fake and that is out to hurt you. And I'm telling you, it's going to get bad. So pray for the country, pray for the nation, be optimistic. But again, play the defensive position and then get on offense with us and prep for what we know is going to happen because after the collapse, the global elites are going to pump this thing crazily. They're going to send Bitcoin to $1 million+. They're going to confiscate all the wealth. They're then going to move, like BlackRock and everybody's moving in. And then after you lost everything, they're going to pump your bags. So I'm telling you, be smart here. Understand what these people are doing and let us help you. We're praying for you. Even if you don't do it with me, go buy physical assets in on your own. I'm telling you, this is what you need to do now. Okay, I don't care what it is. Get into physical. Get out of the banks, especially if you're a Bank of America. Liquidate, sell. Even at the very least, I would move your money from Bank of America and throw it into a credit union right now. Like, that's not safe either. But like, just get out of Bank of America stock. Warren Buffett is selling that to zero. It's going to be bad.